Good evening, everybody. Well, today I'm talking about the homeless. I'm chatting with Wendy, and we're going into a few avenues discussing the homeless topic. How do you help the homeless when the problem is so big? Well, my answer is one at a time. One at a time. Anyhow, hope we give you some thought-provoking ideas in this video. Hope you enjoy it.
The problem with the university education idea is it expanding your horizons or limiting your horizons? For some people, they learn how to write a story a certain way, which they learned in a literary class at university, and then that's to them that's the only way to write a story. Whereas a person with an expanded horizon, they experiment and write different ways and try different things.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like I got this in a lecture in university once too. Whereas if somebody teaches you to draw a seagull, you know how you draw like a two humps and that's a seagull, and that's not a seagull, that's two humps. But then if you ascribe to that method and you've learned that, like maybe you were 3 years old when you learned it, and if you think that's how you draw a seagull and you don't learn to open your eyes to what a seagull really looks like, because if you look at one in real life, it doesn't look anything like that. And it can be very limiting. It can be very limiting. The other thing I wanted to just
Limiting beliefs are terrible, right?
yeah,
Anyway.
I just want to touch on the homeless idea. Why have we got homeless? And when you walk around a residential neighborhood, a nice residential neighborhood in Penticton, single family dwellings kind of a neighborhood, and just about every driveway, there's an RV that a homeless person would love to live in. Compared to lying on the sidewalk, it's a palace. And yet, if you go through these neighborhoods, yard after yard, there's this great big, 30, 40, 50-foot RV. To me, that's really speaks to this problem of, hey, how come we can't cope with homelessness? How come when we can put a spare house in just about every other person's yard, can we not find some way of housing these people who are sleeping on the sidewalk? All right, but there's another
But I
side to
was going
that.
to comment that there's two sides to that coin that you're talking about.
Yeah.
If the road is, you end up in the ditch.
Yeah.
And the ditch is not the greatest place, but there's some people who are very possessive. This is mine. This is mine and nobody else's, and don't you dare touch
Oh,
this.
yeah,
I will get a
absolutely.
shotgun and I will shoot
Yeah.
you for crossing or for pulling a dandelion on my yard, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so this kind of rigid teaching of value of property, and I understand that value of property is a wonderful thing. You worked for it, you've earned it, it's yours, right? Nobody really has the right to come and do things to your property. But at the same time, your boundaries have to extend to looking at what you can do for just one.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you have to house the entire world, but you have to find just one. And out of that group of people that are on their way out of this world, there's just one that you can catch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And not to be anal about this kind of stuff. Yeah, sure, it's your property, you own it, and you could always call the police. In some countries, you could shoot the guy if he steps on your lawn. But is that sensible? Is that desirable? Is it human? I mean, like you might say, you could have a conversation with this person and find out what they're doing, and they might surprise you, and you might become friends with them. You never know. I
Yes,
mean,
they may have been trying to put a flamingo in your front yard as a birthday present
well, you
before
never
you
know. You
shot
never
their
know.
beak off, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But people shoot their beaks off a lot. without understanding the other person. They have no time for the other person. But when they want the help, it better be there for them.
There is another
Right.
aspect to homelessness, though, while we're talking about this. Like, some people just want to do it their way. They want to be homeless. They don't care. They want the freedom. They got used to camping out. They maybe have a little basic equipment to do it with, and they do not want anybody interfering in their lives and giving them a home or whatever. They just want to sleep in the forest, in the park, whatever, and they're very happy with that. And for those people, I think, well, if that's what they want, we shouldn't be interfering with them.
I think you're right, but I think we need to ask.
Yeah, ask, and if they're very happy with what they're doing, well, say okay, go to it.
Mhm. Yeah, but the point of the matter is that when do you say in a society that somebody is a danger to themselves and others? And we have to be careful with that definition, because we can have ordinary citizens swiped, put in a form of a concentration camp in their own country,
Yeah.
because that definition isn't clearly delineated for people. And yet, that doesn't mean you don't you turn a blind eye to those people who may need assistance from time to time.
But all
like a
you can do is
sleeping bag
try.
and-
All you can do is try, and recognize that some of them are going to fall through the cracks, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, I can't worry. I can't stay up at night and worry about it, right?
Yeah.
That's my video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you later.